Welcome one, welcome all to the Funhouse. I am Uncle Salty. This is 91.18 and it's playtime. We have now made it to the NFC Championship game with Detroit. Before we get into the actual championship game, I'm going to show you the NFL leaders from the regular season. We'll start with the passing leaders, and Don Majkowski of the Green Bay Packers was the top rated quarterback, followed by Dan Marino with the Miami Dolphins, Boomer Esiason with the Cincinnati Bengals, Warren Moon with the Houston Oilers, Jim Kelly with the Buffalo Bills, and John Elway with the Denver Broncos. And as we move the screen over here, you can see Majkowski had 49 touchdowns to only one interception and got a 219 rating. And there are the ratings for the other top quarterbacks for 1991. We'll now move over to the quarterback sack area. And as you can see, every one of the top 10 players on the quarterback sack list have an outrageous number of quarterback sacks. So what I ended up doing is I split every number in half because it turned out to be such an egregious number for everyone. But Howie Long with the Oakland Raiders led the league with 56 sacks, and so split that in half. And I was Detroit, and Chris Spielman ended up with 52. So he only ends up with 26, as does Lawrence Taylor with the Giants, Kevin Green with the Los Angeles Rams, Bruce Smith with the Buffalo Bills, Clay Matthews with the Cleveland Browns, Tim Harris with the Green Bay Packers, Reggie White with the Philadelphia Eagles, Dennis Byrd with the New York Jets, and Mike Singletary with the Chicago Bears. Next up, we're going to go with the receiving leaders, and this shows who had the most catches during the season, and obviously 59 is a pretty small number, so what I do for my receiving leaders is I go by the yardage gained, and Sterling Sharp of the Green Bay Packers had 1854, Jerry Rice with the San Francisco 49ers, 1742, and Mark Duper with the Miami Dolphins had 1593. As you can see, in 8th place, Willie Green with the team that I use, Detroit, had 1268. Next up, let's take a look at the interceptions. And Deion Sanders with the Atlanta Falcons took first place with 12 interceptions, followed by Rod Woodson with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had 10 interceptions. And there's the rest of the list for the interception leaders. Now let's take a look at the scoring leaders. And Morton Anderson with the New Orleans Saints with 188 points. And then you can see Barry Sanders with Detroit had 25 touchdowns, all rushing touchdowns, by the way. And there is and I didn't even notice that, also Willie Green had 21 touchdowns. I didn't even see that until just now. So, wow, there are the top scoring leaders. And we'll now move on to kick return leaders. And the New Orleans Saints, Gil Finnerty, 2,000 yards in return, kickoff return yards. A 29.6 average, and look at that, 10 touchdowns. That is that is outrageous. We'll take a look at the punting leaders, and you can't get any closer than that for first and second. 64.6 average for my player with Detroit, Jim Arnold, followed by the Indianapolis Colts, Ron Stark, with 64.5. And last but certainly not least, the 1991 NFL rushing leaders, my favorite position on the football field, the running back, and Barry Sanders gets first place for the NFL leading rushers with 1,638 yards and 25 touchdowns. And Bo Jackson came in second with 1,487 yards and 18 touchdowns. And there is the list of the leading rushers for the 1991 Tecmo Super Bowl season. Now let's get to the championship game. Detroit versus Dallas. And before we get to the game, I see Scooter Magruder wants to come in the house, so we'll let him in the house, and here we go. We get the opening kickoff, Mel Gray. And Mel Gray doesn't get to play the rest of the game, I see, with a injury. Hello, Scooter Magruder, how are you? Must be raining out because Scooter Magruder's all wet. Oh, let's see. I guess we're going to have to go with James Wilder, who is not good, but whatever. Now the Detroit-Dallas matchup we have here actually was in the NFC playoffs in the 1991 season. It was not the championship game, it was a divisional round game. And funny little story with that game. This obviously was before the internet, so you couldn't just go online and order tickets. My dad sat at work and was on the phone for hours upon hours trying to get tickets to this game. He ends up getting 10 tickets for he and his friends as well as me, and so just all fired up to go see the divisional playoff at the Silverdome with Dallas and Detroit. And the night before, I'm with my friend that I'm taking to the game and his family, and his dad says to me, "I'll give you $100 for your ticket." And I said, "No way, I'm not going to do that. I want to go see this game. It's a playoff game. It's going to be great." And even though I'm not a Detroit fan, you get to go see Barry Sanders, who's one of my favorite players. So somehow that Saturday night, after I get done hanging out with my friend and he comes over to spend the night, in the middle of the night, I get violently ill and I am unable to go to this game. And my friend's dad ends up going to the game instead of me, and it was the 4:00 game, so they all left before, well before noon to get to drive to Detroit, and so I'm home sick, and I'm watching the AFC championship game, the AFC divisional playoff game between Buffalo and Kansas City, and by the all morning long and all through that first game, I'm sick. But by the end of the game, and as the Dallas-Detroit game starts, I end up feeling 100% better, and I'm not sick anymore. So I end up missing the game between Dallas and Detroit, and I put it on videotape, watched it, and recorded it on my VCR, and I ended up getting a Dallas Cowboys pennant as a souvenir, but I ended up missing the game. So very disappointing, but I guess a fun story to tell. In the divisional playoff game between Dallas and Detroit, Detroit blows Dallas out of the water, beats them 38-6. And if you've ever seen any of the highlights or of the game or Barry Sanders highlights, he has one of his most incredible runs in that game where he gets the cherry on the top with an incredible run, and he runs. It looks like he's stopped at the line of scrimmage, so Tony Casillas of the Cowboys stops and figures the play is over, and Barry Sanders runs behind him, and you look at Tony Casillas, and he looks behind him and says, "Oh," it's almost like you can read his mind, and it's like, "Oh, you're still running the ball," and it's just funny. It's just funny to see the response of Tony Casillas and the actual run that Barry Sanders has on that play. Now we'll get back to the Tecmo Super Bowl game here. And as you can see, I'm up 7-0. And as you can see, Scooter Magruder walking in front of the camera. And it looks like we're going to give up a field goal, but that's all right. Thought that should have been blocked, but oh well. All right. 7-3, and we're going to see how James Wilder does returning kicks. As you can see, he's not very fast or elusive, so it's a good thing that they gave a bad kick there, and there's a bad pass by Rodney Peete, wide open receiver. And it's 3rd down and 4. It would be kind of cool if, there we go. It would be kind of cool if we could replicate the 38-6 score of the divisional game here, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to score that many points. Hopefully, that's not the best punt, but it's decent. Now, why we have absolutely no punt coverage that's another question to ask. And I'm blocked out of the play. Fortunately, that guy was slow. And we have a quarterback sack, Chris Spielman, so that was nice. Now if we can get them to punt, that would be nice. Another pick play, so 2 in a row for Chris Spielman. And now we'll see how James Wilder does receiving punts. You can see Dallas has great punt coverage, so we'll just run out of bounds. And they picked the play. Somehow we were able to get some yardage out of that. What do we want to do? We'll try that play. All right, he's wide open. And another incomplete pass. Can't have too many more incomplete passes on wide open receivers. That's not good. And we have another wide open receiver. Hey, caught it. And I'm not going to be able to get to my blocker, but that's all right. We got a minute left before half. And we fumbled, and that's really bad. And look at how fast this guy is. So all season long, Barry Sanders does not fumble the ball until the playoffs, where it matters most. We really needed that touchdown. All right. As long as we don't give up a big play, no, it would have to be a touchdown, but we'll just play pass coverage. That'll work. All right, halftime. And Dallas receives the second half kick. And somehow, we have no kick coverage, we have no punt coverage. There we go. Ooh, that was a pleasant surprise. So we fumbled on our last possession, and we got Dallas to fumble on this possession. So they both cancel each other out, and we get the ball back in pretty close to the same spot we had it at the end of the first half. Let's try this play. And they picked it, and it's going to be a sack. Jack Del Rio, the quarterback sack. There we go. First down. Now we're in business. Putting up a touchdown here would be very nice. It would give us a little breathing room. And somehow we get stopped at the line. That's not good. Third down. And we get stopped at the line again. Fourth down. I'm gonna kick a field goal just in case something goofy happens. Steady Eddie Murray puts us up 10-3. And once again, terrible kick coverage. And we're blocked out of the play, so thankfully we had other players there to clean up the mess. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's awful. That is an awful, awful play. That should have been an interception, I thought, but oh well. Oh boy. Hey, we got the same goofball running. Oh my gosh. Robert Awalt somehow is able to pick up yardage at will. There's a nice play. Looks like that was Jerry Ball that got in there, maybe Dan Owens, I don't know. Emmett Smith, fumble, out of bounds, so we're not going to get the ball. Hello, Scooter Magruder. How you doing? Stretching like a big boy, I see. You keep going to this Robert Awald guy. And he continues to get first downs anytime he touches the ball. Oh boy. First down again. Oh, I didn't even realize this is the fourth quarter. Wow. Pick play. And they get the pass off. Of course they get the pass off. Thankfully, we had someone there in pass coverage to stop them. Now this is surprising. It's fourth down. And they're going for it. And thankfully, they did not convert. So, we get the ball back. And we got a huge Barry Sanders run. Oh, well, it's not bad. They'll take a timeout. Everyone's covered, and we're sacked. We have a wide open receiver. Just complete it. We did. All right. They take their final timeout. Now we're going to run off as much clock as we can. I think it takes 5 seconds off every time. Touchdown seals the game. Field goal probably seals the game. More than likely. Yeah, they picked the play, so that's not good. And it's fourth down, so we are going to have to kick the field goal. We just have to make it. And this is not good. Ooh, we got her in there. We're up 10 points. We have just over a minute left in the game. That should work. And we've picked their play. One more play we pick here. If we can pick their play here, we've got it. We got it anyway. Nice. And well, that's all right. That's all right. We'll trade 2 points for them getting the ball back and time running off the clock. So even if they score a touchdown here on the last play of the game, we'll end up doing all right here. That was an interesting play. There we go. And that will do it. Detroit wins the NFC Championship game 15-3 over the Dallas Cowboys. There are the statistics. Thank you for watching the show today. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Have a pleasant evening and a wonderful tomorrow.